14 of the fantasy baseball season. And here's a few hitters I'd look to sell high and trade away this week. The first guy is Rafael Devers of the Boston Red Sox. So an amazing season it's been so far for Devers. 21 homers, 71 RBIs, 58 runs scored, 3 stolen bases, a 290 batting average, and a 356 on base percentage. So Devers, he's gone out there this season, and he's having that big year for this Red Sox team. And obviously, he's a catalyst for them being in first place so far this season. In the last couple weeks here for Devers, 3 home runs, 13 RBIs, 9 runs scored, a 353 batting average, and a 441 on base percentage. So right here, Devers, he's hitting lights out, no doubt about it. But I don't think he's going to finish the season in the 290s to 300 range. And right now, while he's tearing the cover off the ball, this is a perfect time to sell him high. And I think you could get an ace pitcher for him, or maybe even 2 decent hitters in a deal for Devers. The last few games for him: July 1st versus Kansas City, 3 for 5 with a homer, 5 RBIs, 3 runs scored. July 2nd at Oakland, 2 for 4 with an RBI. July 3rd at Oakland, 1 for 5 with 2 runs. July 4th at Oakland, 1 for 4. July 5th at the Angels, 3 for 5 with a homer and 3 RBIs. And July 6th at the Angels, 1 for 4. So right now, he's on a hot streak. He's showing power, obviously, with the 21 home runs this season. But I don't think he's a guy that's going to keep it up all year, especially like I mentioned in the batting average category. And he's a player I definitely look to sell high this week. The next hitter I look to sell high is Joey Gallo of the Texas Rangers. So Joey Gallo, we know he's a big, powerful hitter, and that's his specialty, hitting for power in fantasy baseball. But this season, for his terms, a 234 batting average is definitely high. And on the season for Gallo, 21 homers, 48 RBIs, 50 runs scored, a 234 batting average, like I mentioned, a 391 on base, and 6 stolen bases. So right here this season, he's starting to make more contact and not just swinging for the fences every at-bat like he has his Gallo. But Gallo, an extremely slow start the first 2 months of the season pretty much. But the last couple weeks here, he's been on fire. 8 home runs, 15 RBIs, 12 runs scored, a 325 batting average, and a 460 on base. So right now, I just don't think the batting average is sustainable here for Gallo. Obviously, the power is. This guy's got 40 home run potential, no doubt about it, and we've seen it from him a couple times throughout his career. In the last few games for Gallo, July 1st at Oakland, 3 for 3 with a homer, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. July 2nd at Seattle, 0 for 3. July 4th at Seattle, 0 for 4. July 5th versus Detroit, 1 for 4 with a homer and 2 RBIs. And July 6th versus Detroit, 1 for 3 with 2 runs. So right now, the batting average is up there, but I just don't think it's going to happen for Gallo. He's got too long of a track record throughout his career, where this guy's hitting 190 to the 200s with the power. And right now, while that batting average is up to his standards, it's a perfect time to sell him high and trade away, because no way I think he ends the season in the 230s, 240 range. The next hit I look to sell high and trade away is Josh Bell of the Washington Nationals. So Bell, a few seasons ago with the Pirates, we saw him have a 30-plus home run season and also make the All-Star team. But this season, he was out of the gate slow, but he's really picked things up the last few games for him on the season. 12 homers, 39 RBIs, 37 runs scored, a 242 batting average, and a 308 on base percentage for Bell. In the last couple weeks, though, the stats are way up. 3 homers, 11 RBIs, 8 runs scored, a 353 batting average, and a 436 on base percentage. So Josh Bell, he's going out there, and he's showing some flashes like he did a few seasons ago, where he had the big year with the Pittsburgh Pirates. In the last few games for Bell, July 1st versus the Dodgers, 1 for 2 with a run. July 2nd versus the Dodgers, 1 for 1 with a run. July 3rd versus the Dodgers, 0 for 1. July 4th versus the Dodgers, 1 for 3. July 5th at San Diego, 3 for 5 with a homer and 2 RBIs. And July 6th, 0 for 4 versus the Padres. So right now, Bell, he's in a little bit of a home run groove. And now the Nationals, they got to count on him more than ever with Kyle Schwarber out, probably till August or September with his hamstring injury. But right now, I don't think Bell's going to sustain the stats. We've only seen one great season out of him. And right now, if you could get a decent starting pitcher for him, this is a perfect time to do it, while his numbers have been up there the last couple weeks here for Bell, because I don't think it's going to be sustainable. And he's just a hitter that I don't think is going to have another big season like he did a few seasons ago, right? So right now is a perfect time to sell him high. The next hit is Willie Adames of the Milwaukee Brewers. So Adames, he was a mentioned waiver wire ad early in the week, but right here, he's been one of the best players in all of fantasy baseball in the last month since he got traded from the Tampa Rays to the Milwaukee Brewers. On the season for him, 13 home runs, 44 RBIs, 41 runs scored, a 251 batting average, and a 323 on base percentage in the last couple weeks for him. 4 homers, 11 RBIs, 11 runs scored, a stolen base, a 341 batting average, and a 463 on base. And in the last month, he's hitting 313 as well with 5 homers and 18 RBIs. So Adames, he's been a great find for this first place Milwaukee Brewer team in the NL Central. And he's a guy that was a recommended ad, no doubt about it. But if you could pick up a guy like this on the waiver wire and flip him for a quality starter or just another hitter that you think's going to break out, this is a perfect time to do it while he's been on a hot streak here with his new team is Adames. And Adames, the last few games for him, July 1st at Pittsburgh, 1 for 5. July 2nd at Pittsburgh, 3 for 3 with a homer, an RBI, and 2 runs. July 3rd at the Pirates, 1 for 4 with 2 runs. July 4th at the Pirates, 1 for 3. And July 5th at the Mets, 2 for 4 with a run. And today at the Mets, there'll be a day-night doubleheader starting at 2:10 and then 7:10 is the second game. So right now, Adames, he's been great. And obviously at the shortstop position, which is weak this season in fantasy baseball, this even bumps his value up even more, not even considering the numbers he's put up this season. But right now, I don't think he's going to sustain it. We've seen it the last few seasons with him, what he did in Tampa. And of course, a change of scenery can make any player become better and break out. But right now, I just think if I could get great value for Adames right now, while his value's at its peak, this is a perfect time to do it. This week in the 5th and final hitter, I'd look to sell high and trade away this week's Max Muncy of the Los Angeles Dodgers. So Muncy, he's been on the list on and off the first 14 weeks of the season. He has a sell high guy. And he's a guy I just don't buy as ending the season with huge numbers. On the season for him, 18 homers, 47 RBIs, 49 runs scored, a 260 batting average, and a 416 on base. So right here, early in the season, Muncy was on a crazy tear, hitting at 400 in the first month to 6 weeks of the season, where I recommended to sell him high then because I knew it wasn't sustainable. And right now the average is all the way down to 260 already from where it was in the first few months of the season here. And I think the average is going to dip down even more. The last couple weeks for him, 4 homers, 14 RBIs, 9 runs scored, a 250 batting average, and a 400 on base. So Muncy, he's obviously a very streaky player. And he's a guy I pretty much don't want on my team. I know he's showing power this season, but there's going to be times where you're going to need him the most, and he's going to be in a bad slump. So right now, while he's hot once again over the last few weeks and showing power, this is a time to trade him off before he goes into another cold stretch. Here is Muncy, the last few games for him. July 1st at Washington, 1 for 3 with a homer and 4 RBIs. July 2nd at Washington, 1 for 3 with 2 ribs. July 3rd at Washington, 0 for 4 with a run. July 4th at Washington, 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. July 5th in Miami, 0 for 1. And July 6th in Miami, 0 for 3. So right here, he's only got 2 hits now, is Muncy, in his last 4 games. And he's been hitless in 3 out of those 4 games. So right now, he's starting to trend down already this week. So if you could put him on your trade block and try to get anything of value for him, this will be the time to do it before he goes into another slump here. So that's a few hitters I look to sell high and trade away here in week 14 of the fantasy baseball season.